First order of business is to get into the NBA action last night, and specifically Mr. Klay Thompson of the Golden State Warriors himself. There has been growing discussions about Mr. Klay Thompson, his declining play, and folks actually talking about possibly benching him. He believes as a four-time champion, he should be allowed time to correct his most recent struggles. Klay has heard the chatter, saying that maybe he should be benched, but to use his words, essentially, he doesn't give a damn. Listen up.
How aware are you of that kind of patience, and how much do you value it?
What do you want me to bench me?
No. It's like that's.
You want to bench Wiggs?
I don't think I said that.
Okay. Like, I don't know. Sometimes you earn these things like patience and time to find yourself. And I think history is on our side when it comes to that stuff.
You say that. Have you heard people say that, or
No, I don't care what people say. Like, they don't do what we do. They can't do what they do. That's why they talk. Why would I? Like, come on. I don't care what people say at this point in my life. Next question.
First of all, a couple of things. Klay Thompson is absolutely right. We can't do what he does. He's one of the greatest shooters in the history of basketball, make no mistake about it. A career 41.5% shooter from three-point range. He's that special. But it doesn't mean that he is telling the truth, because I'm here to tell you he's a damn liar. He doesn't care. Klay Thompson doesn't care. That's nonsense. And by the way, if you didn't care, perhaps you should, because when you have cared in the past, you've played considerably better. Now, before anybody wants to go on and jump on the bandwagon and act like Klay Thompson is such a victim, I will remind you, I'll challenge anybody to find a bigger fan of Klay Thompson than me. I have religiously pointed out that this is one of the greatest shooters in the history of basketball. The only reason we don't talk about him more is because he happens to be a backcourt mate of the greatest shooter God has ever created in Steph Curry. That's the only reason we don't talk about Klay Thompson as much as we should. His first 8 years in the league, he never shot less than 40% from three-point range. Before that nasty knee injury ultimately took him down, and then the Achilles injury followed that left him out for 2 seasons. We have never said anything about Klay Thompson because he's been that phenomenal, but he doesn't look that way now. And because of it, in part anyway, the Golden State Warriors don't look that great right now. Klay Thompson is averaging 15 points a game. Klay Thompson is shooting 40% from the field. Klay Thompson is shooting 36% from 36% from three-point range. I got news for y'all, ladies and gentlemen. This is the same Klay Thompson that came into the offseason and said, yo, this is the most important offseason of my career. This is the most important preseason of my career. So the reality is that expectations came. Why? Because he's making $42.3 million this year, entering the last year of his contract. He's looking for a new deal. He can't seem to reach an accord with the Golden State Warriors because they're looking at him and the dissipated level of production that he's providing compared to what he did in the past. And they're saying, damn that. We already got the highest payroll in the National Basketball Association. I'll be damned if I'm going to commit more and more money down the line for a diminished product. So it's up to Klay Thompson to show that he's not that diminished. Me personally, if he's not in Golden State, the one place I want to see Klay Thompson in is L.A. Let LeBron James have that brother to throw the basketball to, and watch what that dude does. Klay Thompson is still special. He's just not looking as special as we know him to be. So he can have an attitude. He can act like, please, y'all don't do what, people don't do what I do. They can't do what I do. Well, guess what? Did you feel that way when you were out for 2 years and you came back for the very first time? They didn't introduce Steph Curry last. They introduced you last. And in case you forgot, Klay Thompson, in case you forgot what that was like when you were being introduced and the roar of the crowd that you supposedly do not care about, in case you forgot what that experience is like, here is a reminder. Take a look at this. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what you call goosebump moments, where your hair standing up on your skin, where you just feel yourself tingly inside because of the roar of that crowd and the love and the affection that they showed them, because they knew that a 4-time champion, a 3-time champion at the time, was returning. This is what they were talking about when they were talking about Klay Thompson. They didn't introduce Steph Curry last that night. They introduced Klay Thompson last because you knew you waited for it, because for 2 years, this brother was out, worked his tail off to get back to form. And right now, we're seeing him look worse than he looked when he got back. And so it's up to you, Klay. It's up to you, bro, because I want you to get paid. I don't blame you for being salty with the media forever. When they cost you $30 million years ago when they named Kemba Walker third team All-NBA instead of you, and thereby not allowing you to be eligible for the Supermax of $221 million, and instead you had to settle for $191 million. We get it. But this ain't the time to look at critics and skeptics and doubters and point the finger at them. It's about time to look in the mirror and for you to say, I'm not what I'm supposed to be. Your success ain't predicated on athleticism, the likes of Russell Westbrook or somebody else. Your success is predicated on your ability to shoot the ball and to create enough separation to get your shot off to shoot the ball. You should be able to do that. And if you're not doing it, something's wrong. It's just that simple. You ain't the only one, though. Not wearing a Golden State Warriors uniform. You ain't the only one. Because there's somebody else in the same uniform as you that's got his own problems.